Okay, so this wasn't planned, but hey, here I am. It's Late Night Live with PDawg. And you know what? I think I'm going to have a little jazz going here. Hang on a second. Yes. Hello, Patrice. How are you doing? Welcome to a rare Late Night Live with PDawg Night. I was just a little bored, up late, doing nothing, and I thought, you know what? I might go on for just a little bit of time and chill and just see who shows up. Now, I do have a couple stories because I was just dinking around on the internet and saw some funny stories, some funny Valentine's Day stories. Well, not necessarily funny. Some were some Valentine's horror stories. Hello, Johnny Hellcat. How you doing? Welcome. Yes, it's just a rare Late Night Live. It's going to be a short one. Got a few funny stories, maybe a joke or two, and just going to chill, okay? With the chilling music in the background. Sounds almost like Noir Bar. If you ever watch Polydub's Noir Bar, it's kind of like that. But so it's just us here in the quiet of the Late Night Live with PDawg Night. Should I play an intro? Maybe let me just do a quick intro. Let's do that. Hang on. Play the intro. This is my PDawg Late Night Live intro. All right, that's it. That's the Late Night Live intro. Just put that together for when I'm not doing the regular morning night live show. This is just for late night stuff. So seeing if anyone else will show up. Maybe I'll just tell the joke of the day that I normally do on Mondays, and then we'll get into some stories. But they're not the normal kind of stories I do, not real heavy-duty news stories, but just, I saw a list of some stories, some waiter date horror stories that I just thought were kind of humorous, and so I figured we'd check those out. But first, the joke of the day. So, a pirate walked into the bar, and the bartender said, "Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. What happened? You look terrible." "Well, what do you mean?" said the pirate. "I feel fine." The bartender said, "Well, what about that wooden leg? I mean, you didn't have that before." The pirate says, "Well, we were in a battle and I got hit with a cannonball, but I'm fine now. It's okay." The bartender said, "Well, okay, but what about that hook? I mean, what happened to your hand?" The pirate said, "Well, we were in another battle, and I boarded a ship, and I got in a sword fight, and my hand was cut off, so I got fitted with this hook. I'm fine, really." The bartender says, "Well, what about the eye patch?" Oh, yeah, well, one day we were at sea, and a flock of birds flew over, and one of them shit right in my eye." The bartender said, "You're kidding. You lost an eye just from bird shit?" The pirate said, "It was my first day with the hook." Speaking of which, Patrice, how you doing? You get the bell because you're here first. And Johnny Hellcat, you're second. And I have a couple people hanging in the shadows. You can stay in the shadows if you'd like, or you can join in the chat. Yes, it's Late Night Live with PDawg Night. A mellow affair. I'm glad you're all here. So, like I said, when I was just, but you're right. I should probably add one of those to my list of sound effects. But that joke was so bad that, oops, that didn't work. Okay, my sound effects aren't working. Anyway, hello, Richo. This is the time that I normally watch. Well, not necessarily watch me, but you're watching somebody at this time of night. So, I got a few Valentine stories. Why is none of my sound effects are working? Huh. That's interesting. Did I do something wrong? Well, you're going to hear sound effects eventually, but anyway. So, I got a few Valentine stories. They're kind of funny. This is a 30 waiters share their Valentine's Day disasters that they've witnessed. Now, some of these are very short, very sweet. And if you have something you want to add in the chat or whatever, just feel free to do that at any time. But some of these are kind of funny. So if you're bummed about being single on the most romantic day of the year, read the answers to this question on Ask Reddit, started by someone named this and that. I don't know their name. But you might just want to grab some popcorn, and it'll make you glad that all you have to do tonight is make popcorn and watch Netflix. That's from Valentine's Day. They asked a bunch of waiters on Valentine's Day some disasters that they've witnessed. Based on the replies, Valentine's Day is mostly disasters. Maybe it's the high stress of trying to have a special romantic evening. Maybe it's the rich food. Maybe it's the fact that so many people think that it's a good idea to propose after just a few months of dating. Whatever the reason, the holiday's a minefield, and you gotta be careful because love is wild. So the first story from somebody named Chef Hannibal. There was a note in our reservations that this was an engagement. They wanted champagne, a specific seat, a bunch of other stuff. The server comes up to the table with something like, "So I read we're celebrating an engagement. Congratulations." Confusion from the woman, glaring from the guy. He hadn't proposed yet, and she ruined it. Good. Hello, Della Hayes. Hello, Seamus Derby, and hello, Paul Farrell. I saw you say deplorable, and I mixed your name with your name. Hello, Paul Farrell. Welcome to the Late Night Live. Kind of the late night in the bar. Grab a cocktail. Grab some wine. Grab your running shoes. I don't know. Another story. This is another story, another Valentine's Day horror story from a waiter in the restaurant. The waiter says they came in at lunch the day after, so it was pretty empty, but it was still for a Valentine's Day date. They were both pretty nice at the beginning, and the guy asked for a picture and whatnot. As the meal went on, the dude got progressively drunker, and by the time I brought the check, the woman was gone. When the dude gave me his card, he said, "I'll give you a bit of advice. If you're not taking a girl out to break up with her, if you're taking a girl out to break up with her, do it at a McDonald's and not an expensive restaurant." Oh, what a terrible story. Let's see. Oh, here's one. A nice lady brought her kid in for dinner. Got seated at a table next to her husband and his mistress. By the way, we're just telling some Valentine's Day horror stories as told by some waiters. The fourth one. here, I'm going to put these on the screen just in case I'm slurring, which I'm not, but you know, what the hell. He proposed. She said no. He cried and tried to change her mind for 20 minutes while she sat there stony-faced. She finally got up and walked out. He paid and left in tears. Oh, don't propose on Valentine's Day. It's especially, well, I don't know. I'm already married. I've been married 27 years. Well, I will be married 27 years a week from today. So I'm, and we don't do Valentine's Day. My wife and I never do that. In fact, what did she do last night? She went out with some coworkers out last night. And the night she went out with a friend for her friend's birthday. Next week we're gonna have a nice meal for our anniversary. And it'll be glorious. But we've been doing this 27 years now, so it's not so bad. Here's one. These two were on a date, and the guy went to use the bathroom. The girl just up and leaves after he went to the restroom. When the guy came back, he sat around for a while until asking his waitress where she went. She replied with saying that she left. The guy then asked the waitress if she would go on a date with him. The waitress said no. Hey, you got to do something, man. If your girl leaves you, well, if the waitress is cute, why not? Oh my goodness. All right. How about this one? Let's see. So if you're just getting here, these are stories. Valentine's Day stories, nightmares from as told by the waiter or waitress that gave us the story. I had a Section 1 Valentine's Day that had a marriage proposal, a 40th anniversary, and a breakup all at the same time. The breakup was the worst. The guy brought his high-class date a gift, a mini ceramic bear holding balloons. He presented it when I was at the table, and she looked at it like it was a hot turd. I just knew this was not going to end well. She left at the end of the meal and must have said something because he stayed at the table for about another 40 minutes, head down and crying. I felt bad. He saw the celebrations going on at all the other tables. Uncle Bobbity, what's up, man? I'm just telling bad Valentine's Day stories. It's not a whole lot of news. Well, there's plenty of news. I have some news too, but I'm telling the bad Valentine's Day stories first. And these are stories as told by waiters who are telling the stories. Bad Valentine's things that happen at their restaurants. The seventh one. I was eating at a fine dining establishment, Chili's. That's funny in itself. Several years ago. In the next booth was a really young guy who had a big bunch of roses on the seat next to him. He kept looking at his watch, looking at the roses, and popping open a ring box for a peek at the ring. He did this for a half hour or so, then began calling and texting someone, presumably his girlfriend, over and over. As we were waiting for a check, he hands my wife the roses, mumbled something, and walked out. Poor guy. Edit. I don't consider Chili's a fine dining experience. My wife and I had done some shopping and stopped off for burgers and beers afterwards. Okay. I was going to say, Philly, I think he was joking about Chili's being a fine dining establishment. Another story. I used to be a waiter at a 5-star restaurant, and it was my first week. One guy was about to propose. It was obvious by how much he was sweating, and he was drenched. I tried to make them both relax. They went on to finish up their meal. As soon as the cake arrived, he then went on one knee. She stood up. Suddenly, he vomited right between her knees. After the shock of what had just happened, she still ended up saying yes. Hello, Check Your Logic. Welcome. I gotta see something. Something weird's going on. Why are none of my sound effects working? Whoops, hang on. Let's go back here a second. Hang on a sec. Oh, I know what's going on. What am I on here? Web article. Move that over. Yes. Yes. Huh. That's weird. Anyway. Or is my keyboard dead? No, my keyboard's live. Alright, anyway. Moving on. Another one. I'm not a waiter, but I was a pastry chef at this big resort in Cape Cod. We got a special order from a guy who was coming in for his anniversary on Valentine's Day. He wanted his dessert to have "Will you marry me" written on it so he could pop the question when it came out. He called ahead to the front and back kitchen, even came in himself that morning to make sure it was good to go. The whole crew was behind him. We had cooks all night coming in to ask if the thing had happened yet. I wrote the inscription on the plate and dressed it to the nines with gold leaf and expensive chocolate. I'm taking a picture of the plate just before it's set to go out and notice our head waiter come in with a weird look on his face. He says plainly, "They don't need it." She broke up with him before the entrees hit the table. Oh boy, that hurts. This one says, a guy did a backflip and asked a girl to be his Valentine. She declined. I walked up to him and asked if he was fine. He said it took him a week to perfect. All right. Enough. Okay, let's just dispense with the Valentine stories now. So there's a whole bunch more, but I'm going to skip them. Oh, here's one that's kind of this is kind of gross, but by the way, welcome to Late Night Live. Everyone is here. This is just me. I was bored. I'm like, hey, let's do something a little different. So I got some of the stories are weird, some of them are good. Oh, you know that lady who is the American Airlines passenger who the viral video of the guy punching the back of her seat? Well, there's a little bit more to the story now. There's a couple more things about this story. Well, first of all, apparently the reason he was upset is because when she reclined her seat into his legs, he spilled his drink all over himself. But apparently there's also more to that story from her end. She says that, hang on. She says that American Airlines threatened to arrest me during that event. So this video has the internet legitimately divided. Dude is in the last seat on the plane. Seat doesn't recline. Hers does. And she reclines. He's upset because she spilled his drink, and he punches her seat incessantly, so she records it. So here's what happens. Remember Wendy Williams, the woman who videotaped the man behind her who wouldn't stop punching her seat because she had reclined it? Well, TMZ has a photo of the passenger disturbance notice that a flight attendant handed to Williams, warning her that she could be federally prosecuted for not complying with the flight attendant's order to delete the video she had taken of the seat puncher. Hello, D.I. Freighter. I see you there. So she got a note from them saying that she couldn't take video. The attendant also threatened to kick Williams off the plane if she didn't delete the video. Williams says she deleted the video but was able to recover it and post it on Twitter. According to TMZ, Williams believes she may have suffered damage from the repeated punches because she says she has a number of back surgeries in the past, as well as titanium implants in her vertebrae. She wants the seat puncher identified and prosecuted. Williams told TMZ she took the video as a way to stop the man from continuing to violently punch her seat. Now, he wasn't punching it violently. You want to see punched violently? I'm pretty sure if I punched it violently, I would knock her forward. But anyway, And that once the man realized he was being taped, he reduced the force of the punches so that they were just an irritation. Okay, so maybe we didn't see the whole thing. Hello, Jedi Ghost Bear. Here's the TMZ video interview with Williams. I'll probably get flagged for this, but who cares? And it's not playing the clip. Come on. Today. Okay, apparently the embedded clip doesn't work. But anyway, apparently she's suing the man and American Airlines. Now we know why she might be suing American Airlines. I mean, it still seems kind of still seems pretty petty to try to sue them, but what are you gonna do? Let's see what else we got here. Hang on, I gotta close some windows here. Holy smokes. By the way, you are watching Late Night Live with PDawg Night. I'm using my radio voice, keeping it smooth with the jazz sounds in the background. Just a little change up from what we usually do on the PDawg Night channel. You may have already seen this one, but this is actually proof that sometimes liberalism is a mental disorder, and you just kind of gotta watch this to believe it. You just gotta see it to believe it. I'm gonna put it on pause here for a second so I can start it from the beginning. Hang on a second here, and I'll actually have to turn the music off for this one. We're gonna pause the background music for just a moment because this one requires some sound, and you're gonna want to hear every word of this one. I'm just telling you right now. Prepare yourself. This is classic. It's beautiful. This is from the Seattle City Council. It's a Land Use and Neighborhood Committee public comment session where people get to come in and make public comments about land use in the city of Seattle. And I think you're going to enjoy this. It's actually quite fabulous. Here we go. Listen to this. This is beautiful. And I don't know if I'm going to do, maybe I'll do the whole 2 minutes. Well, you just have to tell me what you think before I hit play, though. I am going to say good morning, good early morning to Marsupial Gamer. How you doing? All right, here we go.
There's an unwelcome sight in the neighborhood. A developer is being greedy. There's a hole in the sky where a tree once stood.
Sorry, that was me.
Such a lack of life and sound. All that's left is bare, muddy ground. A magnificent tree was murdered. The mighty dollar cut it down. There's a hole in the sky where the tree once was. Somebody's making money. Stand up. There's a hole.
Now, before I go on here, not only does she have a song prepared, she has song sheets for her friends who have joined her, but she even has accompanying music playing on her phone. It's great. It's fantastic. I can't. But here we go. We're going to continue because this song is
in the sky where the tree was.
Feel the love of this song, by the way.
Once was, somebody's making money. Laws protect exceptional trees, but the city grants exemptions to these. Instead, they reward the developer's greed and sanction the murderer's deeds.
Did she just say murderers? They murdered a tree. They murdered a tree.
There's a hole in the sky where the tree once was.
Somebody's making money.
There's a hole in the sky where the tree once was. Somebody's making money. No more leaves shimmering with golden light. No more gentle shedding of rains.
Okay. I do have to say one thing. She can carry a tune pretty good. right? Right? You know what? I had to watch this whole thing. Well, I didn't have to, but I did. And because I did, you have to too.
Nor tulip blossoms rustling in the wind. Now nothing remains but that hole in the sky where the tree once was. Somebody's making money. There's a hole in the sky where the tree once was. Somebody's making money. There's a hole in the sky, instead of a spreading canopy. There's a hole in the sky, instead of a 90-year-old tree. There's a hole in the sky.
So apparently they cut down a 90-year-old tree for some place. So here's what they're trying to do, okay? So apparently they're some, I don't know, some project in Seattle, and they cut down a 90-year-old tree. Now, I don't know.
Sky in the sky. That tree did not belong to you or me. There's a hole.
Well, if it's in the city and it was on someone's land, maybe. Here's what they were trying to do, and I'm done with the song because it drives me nuts. Apparently, what happened is, so they had some zoning things. These activists are trying to create an ordinance that makes it illegal to cut down certain age of tree, and so that was their late night song, or this is our late night song now, but it was their song to try to convince the city council that we should be cutting down trees. And because the tree, and I'm using my best NPR voice for this, one, because my wife's trying to sleep. I'm using my best NPR voice for this because, you know what? It's just a sad day. It's a sad day for the people who love trees that they cut down this tree. And so they want an ordinance that says you can't cut down a certain age tree. And, I guess they have that. That's their prerogative, I suppose. I can't do it. Oh, you know what? I was going to do thank you, Sheer. Oh no, S Derbs. I can't remember. Oh, Becca and S Derbs. I always forget who S Derbs is on Twitter. But thanks for retweeting the show or tweeting the show out. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, let's get into something else because I just can't. Oh, let's get the background music back. Since it's late night live, we're using some little bit more jazzy feel. Grab a cocktail, pour yourself a bourbon, pop a beer, a glass of wine, whatever you got. Now I forgot to do that. I do have my tub of ice cream, but it's already gone. But anyway, grab yourself a cocktail, enjoy the evening. I'm kind of doing a pre-bar noir bar, even though it's noir bar is Polydub's thing. And we'll get into some more stories here. Oh, there's an interesting article on Medium. Maybe I'll do that one on Monday. But a woman who is a Democrat decided she was going to go to the New Hampshire Trump rally. Wrote a really interesting Medium post on it, and I was gonna read it, but it's really, really long, and I'm not gonna. This one's too long to read it this time of night. Let's find some other stories. Oh, I did the House Hunter story already. Someone sent that to me. Some of you might have missed that one though. Well, I think I did that story earlier today about the throuple on House Hunters. Here's the Reader's Digest version. With 17 seasons under its belt, House Hunters made HGTV history on Wednesday when it featured its first throuple. 3 people in a polyamorous romantic relationship on one of its episodes. Titled Three's Not a Crowd in Colorado Springs, the episode followed Brian, Lori, and Jelly on a quest to find their dream house in Colorado. The trio wanted to find a new home that would accommodate their unique dynamic, as well as provide space for Brian and Lori's 2 children. As with any episode of House Hunters, the family came armed with a list of must-haves for their new residence, including a 3-car garage and a master bedroom that would accommodate 3 people. At one point in the episode, Lori remarked about the lack of space in one house they were touring, saying, "This is a couple's kitchen, not a thruple's kitchen." Hello, Kessler. Hello, Struggling Paradox. Yes, it's Late Night Live. Kind of an unintentional one, but I just thought I'd throw a stream out here and see who showed up. I'm glad y'all are here. Oh, okay, so it was 11 watching, 12 likes. Okay, yeah, there was someone else who came and went, but then they came back because now we have 13 people watching with 12 likes. So somebody isn't hitting that like button. By the way, while you're here, if you're enjoying what we do on the Late Night Live, this special edition, please hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. And if you're not, well, you know, do what you do. Do your doing. And also, hey, this show is sponsored by viewers like you. Support the show with your donations and have your super chats read live on the show. You can click that little link in the chat, or if you're not following me on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter too, at PDawg Night. That's in the chat. Or just check out the PDawg Night Live website, which is pdawgnight.live. No, people never sleep around here, including me. This is now look, this is rare for me. Usually I've gone to bed at least 3 to 4 hours ago because I usually get up early in the morning, but it's weekend and I don't get up early on the weekends. And I had a basketball game today, which we got destroyed, but whoa, hello. Well, thank you, Sir Quack. I didn't even know you were here. But you have subscribed. I thank you for subscribing. Make sure you hit the little bell next to that so that you get notifications when we're on. Let's get into another story. Oh, this is just a cute video. I'm pulling most of these from Ace of Spades blog, but this is a cute video. So, here's a little video. when mom and wife aren't home, the boys will play. Let me see if I can get it to fit on the screen a little better, some different way. Here, let's try it that way. All right, here's a video for you. When mom and your wife aren't home, here's what the boys do. They do a little live wrestling. Hey, and he's taking him down. He did the body slam. Ah. Oh, and here comes from the top rope. Oh no, he hits a power slam. Well, who does that one? I can't remember which guy does it. This guy's off the ladder. They had a ladder match. He hit him with the belt. Oh, a suplex. He got the whole thing going. Oh, okay. Is that the John Cena move? I can't remember. Oh, he hit him with a book. Where'd you get the book from? He must have got it from under the ring apron. Anyway, I just thought that was cute. What else do we got here? Oh, this one's hilarious. Okay, so this guy had a warrant out for his arrest apparently, and so, but what they did is the police. You know how some of the police forces have Twitter and Facebook accounts? Well, this guy decided that he's going to comment on the ad that they have out for his arrest on Facebook. So here it is. Guy comments on police's wanted ad for him. You don't see this kind of strategy from a runaway criminal every day. Yes, it seems this guy decided to comment on the actual Facebook post by the police department looking for him. Not sure what the game plan was with that move, bud. So here it is. So the Richmond, Washington police say, wanted Wednesday, Anthony Akers, 38, is wanted by the Department of Corrections for failure to comply. If you have any information, please call this number. Well, down here on Facebook, Anthony Akers replies saying, calm down, I'm going to turn myself in. And the Richmond police say, hey, Anthony, we haven't seen you yet. Our business hours are 8 a.m. This is 2 days later. We haven't seen you yet. Our business hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Of course, if you need a ride, you can call non-emergency and we'll pick you up. Anthony Aker replies, Richmond Police Department, thank you. Tying up a couple loose ends since I will probably be in there for a month. Should be there in the next 48 hours. So some guys has he turned himself in yet? And he has not. And so Richard Walker, Anthony Akers, a man's word is all he's got sometime, and it seems like you don't keep your word. So later, here we go. The Richland Police Department says, morose Monday, dear Anthony, is it us? Last Wednesday, we reached out to you as wanted. You replied and even said you were going to turn yourself in. We waited, but you didn't show. After you stood us up, we reached out again, this time offering you a ride. You replied and said you needed 48 hours. The weekend came and went. We're beginning to think you're not coming. Please call us anytime and we will come to you. Anthony Akers replies, dear RPD, it's not you, it's me. I obviously have commitment issues. I apologize for standing you up, but let me make it up to you. I will be there no later than lunchtime tomorrow. I know you have no reason to believe me after what I did to you, but I promise that if I don't make it on my own by lunchtime tomorrow, I will call for a ride to assist me with my commitment issues. Thank you in advance for your response. If you are patiently giving me another chance with us, I know I don't deserve it. P.S. You're beautiful. So this guy, I'm crying. Then later, here for our date, sweetheart. That's him walking into the police department. So he did eventually turn himself in, but that's just freaking hilarious. Oh my God. So the moral of the story is, if the Washington, Richmond, whatever police department is looking for you, you can communicate to them on Facebook and they will make sure that you get there in a sound and safe manner. Oh boy. Let's see. What's this one again? I had a couple of these that oh no, that's a dumb story. I'm not gonna do that one. Let's see. Let me scroll down here. Oh man. Hey, by the way, I got a question for you. If you're not normally up at this time of night, why are you up right now? By the way, good morning, it is morning now. It is 12:42. Good morning, Tyler F. Good morning, Becca Farley. Good morning, Johnny Bonsacco. I'm glad you're all here. What are you all doing up this time of night? Well, first of all, some of you, it's not night, because I know Richo, it's, what, is it like, what time is it, Richo? This has got to be like, well, I don't know. Richo's down in Australia. Also, while you're at it, tell me, I know where some of you are from, and you don't have to tell me specifically. You don't even have to necessarily tell me the city. If you're from a particular state, or the nearest, let's put it this way. Tell me where you're from by the smallest geographical area that you're comfortable telling me. So if you might say I'm in Michigan, or I'm in the upper Midwest, or I'm in, whatever city or whatever. You had a nap this afternoon. It's 1:44 a.m., so you're just an hour ahead of me. So you're East Coast. 5 p.m. Sunday for Richo. Oh, it's a whole other day. Washington State. Okay, cool. Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to answer this. I'm just saying. You don't have to tell me. Just. And Kessler's in South Dakota. Cool. All right. So you got that little cold spell a couple days ago too, didn't you, Kessler? Okay, Lansing, Michigan. Cool. All right. So let's see. So I was looking up. Oh, that's right. Becca, I knew you were in Texas. Okay, cool. And Marsupial Gamers. And hey, Geos, I didn't see you there. Central New Mexico. Okay, cool. All right. Oh, and Sir Quack. By the way, Sir Quack, thanks again for subbing. Out of curiosity, Sir Quack, how did you find me? I'm really curious. So anyway, this is interesting. This is from the Ace of Spades blog too, and the article's called "If You Build a Train Station, Will Trains Come?" A high-speed train flies through downtown Fresno. Such a beautiful dream. Wait, I thought this train was supposed to stop in downtown Fresno. Well, never mind. The California high-speed rail debacle just gets bigger and stupider over time. I have a hard time keeping track, even though I see some of the construction on the project from time to time. I have friends who already had their lives changed by it. Below is a rough timeline from some of the recent stories about developments in Sacramento, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., and Fresno. The demise of this program has been announced several times before, but I was not aware of some of the current problems outside of the Central Valley. So if you're not familiar, California was building a high-speed rail system, and I think it was supposed to go from San Diego all the way up to San Francisco, and then also through the middle of the state too. Well, here's some of the developments on this particular project. Thursday, March 2nd, Sacramento and Washington, D.C. Late Wednesday, the California High-Speed Rail Authority dispatched a report to the legislature crowing about progress in building a statewide bullet train system. The report implies that the bullet train, a high-priority legacy project for Governor Jerry Brown, is on a fast track to completion. However, the financially challenged project has just suffered two immense hits, either of which could be fatal. Just an hour before the report was issued, results of the state's latest cap and trade auction of greenhouse gas emission allowances, the only source of ongoing bullet train funds, were released, and once again it produced almost zero money. Shocker. Is my bell working? There we go. Or better yet, okay, that one's not working. Why is that not working? Wow. Okay, there's wow. The one I want is not working. Anyway. All right, moving on. Moreover, the report was aired just days after the Trump administration had put an indefinite hold on the $647 million grant for electrifying the Caltrain commuter rail service on the San Francisco Peninsula, a major component of the blended bullet train system. The money spent so far on the project is virtually all federal money. There are a lot of nitty-gritty details at the link. More on the Caltrain electrification project below. Friday, March 3rd in Sacramento and Fresno. Jerry Brown doubles down. From one of the stories included at the link under the artist rendition at the top of the page. After years of prep work, Governor Jerry Brown's finance department decided Friday that California's $64 billion high-speed rail project is ready to lay some track. That sounds promising. The administration approved the rail authority's request to spend $2.6 billion, billion with a B, on the work in the Central Valley. The decision to let the authority ask the state treasurer's office to sell a portion of the nearly $10 billion in bonds voters approved for in 2008 for a bullet train. However, the first 29-mile segment of track isn't expected to be completed until at least August 2019. So this is back in 2019. The bullet train's long-term prospects remain clouded because of uncertainty over funding and several pending lawsuits. So he continues, I'm not sure if the tracks have been laid, but demolition and construction is underway in the Fresno area. An internal Federal Railroad Administration analysis in December found that the train's first segment is running 50% over budget. Great! Dignitaries touring construction on the viaduct over the Fresno River didn't seem to be too concerned that they were walking into a dry riverbed during an extended drought. The construction money could have built dams for water storage and flood prevention from the winter's rains. This is March 6th. This is 2019, by the way. March 6th, San Francisco. The San Francisco Chronicle reported on the new Transit Bay Transit Center. It's scheduled to open this year, long before the first 29 miles of high-speed rail is or was scheduled to be completed in and near Fresno. So they had the transit center ready, but they don't have any track laid yet. The 3-block-long behemoth was envisioned as the Grand Central Station of the West, a dynamic hub for buses and high-speed rail that would draw more than 100,000 visitors a day. Come opening day, however, there will be no high-speed rail. Instead, for many years, the 5-level showcase just south of Mission Street between 2nd and Beale Streets will be little more than the world's most expensive bus station, serving mainly the 14,000 Transbay bus commuters who roll in and out on a daily AC transit. The reality is starting to sink in and has city officials scrambling because without the big crowds that trains were supposed to bring in, there are serious questions about where all the money needed to keep the place secure, clean, and well lit will come from. Hey, maybe it'll just be a big homeless shelter eventually. Who knows? So here's kind of a rendition of that. So just now the reality is starting to sink in. 5 levels, 3 blocks long, 14,000 bus passengers a day. I wonder if the janitors will pull 6-figure overtime paying for sitting in a closet. Tuesday, March 7th of last year, Washington, D.C. in the Bay Area. On Tuesday, the Wall Street Journal ran an editorial congratulating Elaine Chao for Chow's choo-choo stop. Sorry about the paywall. It provides some sleazy details about the Caltrain electrification project previously mentioned. Obama's Federal Transit Administration Chief Carolyn Flowers approved a federal grant for the electrification project 2 days before President Obama left office. Oh my God. She is now employed by a contractor for the Caltrain project. Good for her. Thank you for that reminder, Beck. I appreciate that. How does the electrification of Caltrain connect to high-speed rail? Good question. The bullet train was supposedly linked to Caltrain, though that may not be for several decades, if ever. At the current rate of construction, since the choo-choo may never reach the Bay Area due to litigation and funding shortfalls, Bay Area Democrats late last year wrote legislation that would make the $600 million of the $10 billion in high-speed rail bonds that voters approved in 2008 available for electrifying Caltrain. This may be unconstitutional as legislators aren't allowed to amend measures passed by voters, and some taxpayers have sued. Great. Ms. Flowers decided to help her progressive friends in San Francisco on her way out the door by fast-tracking the federal grant for Caltrain. Now she's returned through the other door to collect a piece of the cash. Sacramento is America's Western Swamp. So this lady, she was in the Obama administration, made sure that money got passed, and then she left the Obama administration and quickly ran to Caltrain, where she gets paid out of that grant. Great. The Orange County Register also ran an editorial about the entire high-speed rail project. It includes some interesting information about the state's cap and trade auctions and the plan to use them to fund the project. And from that article, from the very beginning, the California High-Speed Rail Authority's business plan have been based more on hope and fantasy than on sound finance or economics. Proponents seem to have adopted the in for a pound strategy. Just grab as much money as you can, as quickly as you can, and start building. Once the track has been laid, there is less likelihood the public will mount strong enough opposition to stop the project, which might be seen as wasteful and cost even more money to tear up the track. Hello, Matt Fields. That's Matt. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. So, yes. Make it too expensive to stop. What is that called? This big rail project. Is it called like Too Big to Fail? Does that sound familiar? Sacramento started this project in a relatively sparsely populated, economically depressed area where they could even get some support from Republican politicians. Opposition to suggested routes came from farmers and small businesses, not from high-powered environmentalists and progressive bigwigs. How many people need to take a bullet train from Shafter to Merced? Which, yeah, I'm not familiar, but I'm guessing those are two small towns that, Good question, Functional. Hello, and should I be asleep right now? Probably, but I'm not. I might even pour myself a cocktail. Let's see. How many people need to take a bullet train from Shafter to Merced? And why didn't they start with the Los Angeles to Bakersfield segment where there is certainly no direct rail service at all? Oh, because it would be hard. March 8th, Fresno. In the middle of the day, I drove past the support towers under construction for the viaduct intended to carry high-speed trains over Cedar Avenue and Highway 99 in the southern part of Fresno. There were some really, really tall cranes standing near the towers, but I saw no work underway. March 10th, via J.J. Sefton, who's another writer for the Ace of Spade, there was a tear gas attack. There was a tear gas attack on a German train a few days after an axe attack at a German train station. This could never happen on the future California high-speed rail system, though, right? Well, if there's never is a future California high-speed rail system, I suppose it couldn't, right? All right. Are things this bad outside of California? Years ago, I read a book called Barbarians to Bureaucrats about the rise and fall of corporations. Parallels were drawn to civilizations throughout history. At the end of the typical corporate life cycle, the corporate leadership was described as proceeding from a corrupt bureaucratic stage to an insanity-tinged aristocratic stage. Fiscally irrational behavior and extravagant monument building are common features of the aristocratic stage. When I first read the book, I was working for a corporation, but also dealing with a corrupt state agency. I kind of wished that the author had written a similar book about government entities. It occurred to me that infusions of tax money kept the corrupt bureaucratic apparatus and sometimes some aristocratic insanity going far longer than it would be possible in a market-driven organization. Really? So creative destruction is delayed as the mess gets bigger and bigger. The state of California seems to have pretty much graduated from a corrupt bureaucracy to the insane aristocratic stage since then. I think that is reflected in some of the developments above. In summary, officials keep pushing projects like the Transbay Transit Center bus station along with a bullet train from Shafter to Merced, even though they have just evacuated roughly 200,000 people because they neglected warnings about the conditions of a dam. Additional water storage, like backup dams, could have avoided current emergency actions around the state to prevent disasters due to runoff. Do they think the drought year, flood year cycle is going to end in California? Why isn't water management a higher priority than managing the movement of people? I know this is the kind of stuff that goes on in other parts of the country, but is there anywhere else, well, besides Washington, D.C., that politicians are so disconnected from reality? You know what? I kind of think that is the case probably everywhere. All right, real quick, let's get rid of this. I'm going to just quick check the hashtag. Oh, I actually I sent that story out to already. PDK News. Let's check if there's anything going on over here. We already did the thruple story, and we did the the Blue Jays catcher who got arrested for masturbating in a dollar store parking lot. That wasn't good. All right, let's go back into my list here. Let's see. Oh, I have a few just a few of the weird stories that we every once in a while come up with. Let's do this one. Get on the screen. Man burns down three churches to build clout as a black metal musician. A Louisiana man is facing up to 70 years in prison for burning down 3 churches last year in a bizarre attempt to build up his reputation as a black metal musician. Wait to figure out who this guy's dad is, by the way. 22-year-old Holden Matthews has admitted to burning down 3 churches in St. Landry Parish, Louisiana, to promote himself among fans of black metal, a subgenre heavy metal. The son of the deputy sheriff, or of a sheriff deputy, Matthews reportedly wanted to mimic the church burnings carried out in the 1990s by Norwegian black metal musicians as a crusade against Christianity. Matthews single-handedly set fire to 3 churches using gasoline and oily shop rags in the middle of the night in a span of 10 days. Now, people thought this at first when this was happening. Everyone thought just happened to be black churches, African American parishes, and they thought it was a racial thing, but it was because this guy was trying to promote his band. Anyway, Holden Matthews made a conscious decision to randomly target and destroy churches within his own community. FBI Special Agent Brian Vorden said his atrocious actions inflicted severe pain and grief upon those congregations, as well as all of St. Landry Parish. After each fire, Matthews would go online and brag about his action to other black metal enthusiasts, sending videos and photos of the arson to his friends, accompanied by black metal song lyrics and album cover art that the acts inspired him to create. Like Varg Vikernes, one of the high-profile Norwegian musicians arrested for burning churches in the 90s, Matthews planned to use a photo of a burning church as the cover of the next album for his band, named Pagan Carnage. That was the name of his band. All right. So anyway, this dude's just surely a jackass. Yes, check your logic. It is PDawg in the morning. It is PDawg. Well, it's what did I call this? Late night. What did I call this? Late night something. What the hell did I call this stream? I don't even remember. Late night live. Yeah, it's late night live. Varg would be proud, I guess. Yeah, wouldn't he though? All right, let's see what else I got here. This is weird. Now, if this happens in your house, you may want to move. Okay. This is from the Metro, which always has very interesting stories. Mystery black substance running down walls turns out to be blood from upstairs. 2 men were horrified when a dark substance with a horrible smell started dripping down their wall. Was actually blood of an upstairs neighbor who had died more than a week earlier. AC McGrady tweeted out pictures and videos of the stains at his apartment in Minneapolis, saying it smelled horrible. He and his flatmate called a maintenance team to investigate who discovered the decomposing body of their neighbor. Authorities said the black tar-like liquid was bodily fluids and had leaked through the floor into AJ's flat or apartment. We call them apartments here. This is obviously someone British writing this article. And there's pictures of the blood dripping down. And, the tune should start back up. I'm having some, what's going on here? I don't need that. Here, let's get rid of that. Oh, I have some frame skipping too. I must be having some internet issues. Let me see here real quick. Can you guys still hear me? Seems like the stream is still going. Yeah, it's still going. What's going on with the tunes here? Oh, what the hell happened there? All right, I'm going to close the window. We're going to start this again. Give me a second here, gang. Sorry, the smooth jazz sounds. David McDowell, how you doing? Good to see you here. Thanks for joining the Morning Night Live. I'm sorry, it's not the Morning Night Live. This is Late Night Live. The Morning Night Live is Monday through Friday. Just so you go. All right, let me get back here. I think my internet issue is fixed. I'll just load a few more of these and we'll get back into having some background. You can hear me just fine. Good. All right, let's see if I can get the tunes going again. All right, we'll start there. How's that? Oh, hang on. I got to mute this before it blows your ears out, though. Ooh, that would not have been good. All right, and it's back. The music's sounding good. Technically, it's morning. It is morning. It is morning. You're right. It is morning. Now, it's interesting. It's good to see some of my fellow bastards from the Hard News Network in the house tonight. I got a lot of the monkey crew here, the Hard Bastard crew. I don't see a couple of my other constituents, but at least those two groups are well represented here tonight. So back to this guy. So these guys had this black substance coming down they're dripping down their apartment walls, and it turned out to be blood and bodily fluids from their neighbors. Yeah, so he and Evan Schultz told their Twitter followers about the grim discovery, with AJ saying, "My apartment has smelled horrible recently, and I just found out the guy living above me has been dead for over a week. And before you ask, his body was just discovered after his blood leaked down the ceiling into our apartment this morning." He later added that all I really know of the situation is the man upstairs died in his sleep. As his body decomposed and somehow managed to seep into our apartment, we've heard leaking in our bathroom, so when we saw this, we called maintenance immediately. So that's something you really don't want to happen. You do not want to hear blood coming down your apartment on your walls. Anyway, so hello, IRRI. How you doing? Yes, we have some soft jazz going, and I've got the NPR voice working tonight. Just doing a little bit of a late night live. All right, I got more stories. Please, it won't take long. Oh, what's this one? I can't remember what this one was. Hang on. In fact, I'm going to open the rest of these while I'm here, so I don't have to wait every time. Oops. Nope. Let's not do that. Let's go right click, and right click. All right, next story. Oh, now this one I'm not sure if I even believe. I'm thinking this sounds a little too, I don't know, a little too unbelievable. Hang on, let me click this before I pull it over. Oh, you guys already see it. Come on. If you value my privacy, let me open the damn window. Okay, so this woman claims she's been kicked off of Tinder because she's too attractive. Holly Valentine, that's an appropriate name. Holly Valentine often shares saucy photos on her popular social media pages, but insists that all the snaps on her Tinder profile were clean. A model has claimed she was kicked off of Tinder because she's so attractive that men she matched with thought she was fake. Holly Valentine, 26, lives in LA but often travels around the world to work, so decided to join the dating app as a way to meet people while exploring new cities. She signed up for the paid version of the site, which allows you to see people anywhere in the world, and uploaded a number of cute snaps. While she often shares saucy photos, saucy. While she often shares saucy photos on her Instagram page, she insists all the photos on her dating profile were clean because she's shy when it comes to dating. But Holly claims that within just a few hours of signing up, she was inundated with messages from matches insisting her account was fake. She was soon locked out of the app, and when she tried to re-download it and sign in, it wouldn't work. So here's saucy Holly Valentine. Here, I'll go full screen so you can see the full glory of saucy Holly Valentine. Okay, she's fairly attractive, and she's got them things pushed up there. She said, I travel a lot, so I wanted to date and meet new people when I was traveling and in town. So I bought the most expensive package they offer that lets you set your location to anywhere. It's like $86, and which for an app is expensive. I used clean pictures. I did everything I was supposed to, swiped right for a couple people, got some matches, and then started binge watching Game of Thrones. Then after a couple hours, I went back and saw a couple of previews of messages and then got locked out of the app. Hello, Peter Almond. The previews that I did see were probably not real. Why would a girl like you be on Tinder? Why won't you answer? I didn't even get to meet anyone or really use the app. She contacted Tinder to find out what was going on and says she was given a full refund, but no explanation. So there she is in one of her more saucy photos. Why is that on her Tinder or is that on her Instagram? Anyway, so this is saucy Holly. Holly wanted to try out the popular app as she's shy when it comes to dating. She also says she often gets marriage proposals on her Instagram account, along with strange requests from men who tell her to reach out to their wives and bosses at work if they... What? Wait a minute. Let me read this again. She often gets marriage proposals on her Instagram account, along with strange requests from men who tell her to reach out to their wives and bosses at work if they fail to obey her. She said, I have a lot of respect for people with fetishes, so it takes a lot to weird me out. But the one I'm always shocked by is when guys want me to ruin them and reach out to their wives or girlfriends or even jobs if they don't obey me. I don't know what that means. I've done it once. I could never do it again. Most of the time, the requests are pretty normal, though. Despite her provocative appearance, Holly insists she has always been a genuine girl next door and has a nerdy side she's not afraid to show. Oh, is she into anime? There she goes again. There's another saucy picture. I don't get it. The tunes will come back on. They take a second to load. She said, she says, I'm all natural. She's all natural. Good. I'm all natural, very fit, blonde, girl next door looking. I do have a nerdy side, and I'm not afraid to show it, but depending on the wardrobe or makeup, I can go from looking like an all-natural college girl or a bombshell. I'm extremely real, and people know that the first second. When people meet me in real life, the first thing they say is, you're exactly the same way in real life. Well, let's see. Uncle Bobby, she should hook up with the guy whose neighbor was dripping down the walls. That is funny. A lot of people are going for the girl next door vibe, but that's just who I am. Holly keeps herself busy preparing and uploading content on her site throughout the week, waking up as early as 6 a.m. early every morning for photo shoots. Wow, she's an ambitious young lady. YouTube collaborations and planning brand strategies with her team. She said, half the week I'm waking up at 6 a.m., doing hair and makeup, shooting stuff for Instagram and my subscription platforms, and then I'm usually answering emails and then taking photos for my company's Instagram. So, more saucy photos. Oh, okay, I got it. I got scared for a second there because I thought maybe she was going to show bits that I can't show on YouTube. Sometimes I'll do YouTube as well or collaborate with other models or influencers. Hey, I wonder if she'll do a collab with me. Just like you can send me some video and we'll splice together and make it look cool. I don't know. Just a thought. The rest of the week, okay, enough of Holly. There's, see, she almost fell out there. That's not good. That's not good, Holly. You need to keep them in there. All right. enough of Holly. What is going on with my music? It keeps stopping on me. Hang on a second here. Let me see if I can fix this again. Oh, that is weird. There it goes. Okay, it's working. All right. So apparently, Holly, here's what I would suggest for Holly. What I would suggest for Holly is perhaps Holly, you should, when you do your Tinder photos, don't use the Instagram photos that you spend a lot of time doing hair and makeup on. That would be my suggestion. So anyway, but, all right. I could see how people might think it was a fake account though. I mean, could you see how someone might think if they saw that on Tinder, they might think that there's fake photos? I'm just saying, I'm just saying. I need a bourbon. Okay. Enough of her. So this gentleman's interesting. I'm sure you're gonna love this story. Prepare yourself mentally right now. Man eats dog food for 30 days to prove that it's good enough for dogs. A dog food company CEO ate nothing but canine chow for a whole month to show that if it was good enough for him, it's good enough for dogs too. If that makes any sense. Mitch Felderhoff, president of Texas-based Munster Milling, that's not easy to say. Like Munster cheese. Munster Milling ate nothing but dog food made by his company for 30 days, from January 3rd to February 2nd. Munster Milling produces high-quality dog foods and treats, horse food, chicken feed, and the executive wanted to demonstrate the quality of the dog food by eating it himself for a month. It wasn't the easiest thing in the world to do, as Felderhoff himself admits, but he found the strength to stick to his diet for the full 30 days. Good for him. Dog food is not easy to eat. It tastes like it smells, Mitch Felderhoff said. As I went through the first week, that first 4 days was really tough. I didn't feel good. One of the things I did was key is that I did do some intermittent fasting. The dog food executive said that the first week was pretty tough, but by the third week he grew accustomed to the pet food palate to a point where the ancient grains, ocean fish, and meatballs became his favorite treats. In one of the videos he had made during this challenge, Mitch says he feels excellent, with the exception of really missing the flavor of normal food that we get to eat. So here's the guy. Here's his 30 days of dog food video. This is pretty long, but what the hell. I'll even leave the sound on.
Hi, I'm Mitch Felderhoff, one of the owners of Munster Milling Company, and I'm eating dog food for 30 days.
All right, it is the day.
Did you see the
before
excitement
30
in
days
his
of dog
eyes?
food. I've got my beautiful bride Aubrey here helping me. I need a place to keep the food. Chicken and pork, one of my favorites. Salmon, the one I'm most excited about for a month.
I bet he chases his tail. No, that's funny.
Okay,
I don't
that is my shelf. Roxy, you hear that? Roxy, it's my shelf.
So what prompted me to want to eat dog food for 30 days? Well, I think it's a little naive to say I want to. Or maybe that's not quite accurate. I don't really want to eat dog food for 30 days, but what we do want to do is we wanted to prove that we believe in what we do.
Oh, dude.
We're not going to feed
like
your dog something unless we've eaten it first.
What's up, guys? I am on day 2 of the 30 days.
Okay, I'm not gonna watch this. Here's the last day. Let's watch the last day. That's what we'll do. Here's the last day of eating dog food for 30 days. Bachelor chow. That's true.
All right, we talked about it at the top of the show. Could you eat dog food for 30 days? You may be looking down at the dish of food.
Yeah, he does have a nice house,
PAWG
doesn't he?
think, no
and I
way.
like his dog. That's a
But
beautiful
you might
dog, too.
with this company. Joining me via Skype is Mitch. He's with Munster Milling Company, and he did just that. Mitch, why did you eat dog food for 30 days?
Because he's a moron.
Well, we wanted to prove to our customers that not only do we know where we're getting our ingredients from, we also trust our process, and we won't feed your dog something unless we eat it ourselves.
Okay, Mitch, what is the big difference between your dog food and everybody else? Is there any one difference, or is it various?
Well, we have an unusual number of people eating it. Oh, like one.
Well, it can be various. The biggest difference in our foods is very low carb, low starch, but it's also all made in one place. And so a lot of foods are made at 10, 12 different locations. So they've got a varying degree of suppliers, and we're able to work with the same family farms every time. And we make all of our food in-house.
Okay, so let's get right to it. You documented all of this on video for the world to see. What was the thoughts from your friends and family when you said, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to eat dog food for 30 days.
Well, after 20 days, I was beginning to hump stuffed animals randomly, and I couldn't stop. So I needed to, we had to cut back on the lamb and pork version and just eat the beef version.
They all go, what?
Everyone pretty much thought I was crazy, but there's a few of them that were like, hey man, let's go get it. My brother, he was on board right away, and the wife was on board, but some friends and family, they kind of look at me a little differently, but they always have.
Let's talk about what you ate. Is it flavors? Let's talk about what's in this food specifically. Did it resemble anything that we eat as humans on a day-to-day basis? Did it taste? What did it taste like?
It happens.
It tastes exactly like you think it would. Some of the food isn't as bad as others.
Wait a minute, hold up. He's putting it in a cast iron skillet. Is he like cooking it up or something? Is this a state with legal marijuana? No, I think this is in Texas. I don't think they have legal marijuana there yet, but I suppose if if you were really high and had the munchies, I could see where dog food's a good crunchy snack, right?
The dry kibble, like this stuff, it's not easy to eat. It's got ingredients like fish and sweet potatoes and millet, but it is difficult to chew and digest. Some of the freeze-dried stuff is a little bit easier.
Well, if it's difficult, wait a minute. If it's difficult to chew and digest, why would I want to feed this to my dogs? I don't need my dogs having something that's not easy to digest. I don't know. You're only going to be edibles for 30 days. Don't do that. IRRI. Although I don't know if you maybe you weren't here when I told my edible story, my only experience with edibles, my accidental experiment with edibles. We'll tell that story later.
And you've got heart and liver. It's not something we're used to eating, and so it is a little bit difficult, but if you reconstitute it and rehydrate it and cook some of it, it's not as bad as you would think it is.
Have anyone in this chat ever eaten heart? My grandmother, every once in a while, would cook a beef heart. Really weird eating. It tasted okay, but it was just a weird thing to eat. But a beef heart. Ugh. Anyway,
we had some video just earlier of you eating from the bowl. Now, I watched the full video. You had kind of a protein type shake. You mixed it with water. That was the nastiest part of all this journey, right?
It was the worst thing I've ever had in my life. Yes, it was freeze-dried raw elk and beef, and mixed it up with some cold water and drink it.
And so all this is the proof, Mitch, that the food that you feed your pets is good enough for you to eat. Now, at the end of the day, how much weight did you lose? What was your sugar count and all that stuff? What,
how shiny was your coat when you got done?
what did the doctor say?
So I've gone to the doctor. We had blood work done right before it, and then I go back in 2 days to get another blood panel done to see what the final results are. But so far, I'm down about 25 pounds, and the leanest and lightest I've been since probably my senior year of high school.
Are you growing hair on your knuckles? Are you barking like a dog? I mean, my goodness.
Are you peeing on fire hydrants?
You're down a lot of weight.
Humping stuff
Yeah,
down.
the toughest thing for me is driving past a fire hydrant without wanting to get out and assault it.
You know what? I knew a joke was coming, guys.
All right. Anyway, so that's that, and then he did that. No, beef heart. Someone said it. You bet it tastes lovely. Beef heart just tastes like really super. I mean, it tastes like a really super rich filet mignon. I mean, it was really rich. It had a little bit of weird texture, but it was really tender, and it was a weird thing to eat, but it wasn't bad. I don't know why my grandmother would get them every once in a while, but it was not bad. But anyway, yeah, because you were vomiting. Yeah, you lost weight because he was vomiting all the time. Yeah, I can't figure that one out. Anyway, all right, let's see what else we got here. Let's move on. So the moon missions, they're going to have moon missions again. NASA's going to send people to the moon, and apparently NASA's expecting thousands of people to apply for astronaut jobs ahead of the moon missions. NASA expects thousands of astronaut applications after it starts to accept them March 2nd, with enthusiasm fueled by the much anticipated return to human space flights this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they have 50,000 applicants now. Going back to the moon is motivating a lot of people, said Michael Staub, a flight systems engineer who works for NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California. Staub says he plans to apply for the second time. When NASA last enrolled an astronaut class 3 years ago, the space agency received more than 18,000 applications, 3 times the previous number in 2012, and surpassing a then record 8,000 applications in 1978. NASA plans to land astronauts on the moon by 2024, 55 years after the first lunar landing. 12 men have walked on the moon, 4 of whom are still alive. The oldest, Buzz Aldrin, 90, who joined Neil Armstrong during the Apollo 11 mission in 1969. Speaking of which, you know what? In my background here, I don't know if anyone's noticed this over the last few weeks. Let me grab this real quick. Hang on. I have this commemorative cup that was on my piano here. This is from apparently my grandparents got this because this is from my grandparents' house, but it's the Des Moines Register newspaper, the first landing on the moon. I have the souvenir cup that my grandparents bought back in 1969. It's made by Sir something, Ben Silver Incorporated, out of New York. But yeah, so that's my moon landing cup that my grandparents had. I make sure I don't drop that. Anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. NASA has raised the requirements for applicants who must have a master's degree in science, math, or another technical field rather than just a bachelor's degree. The requirement for a master's degree can be met in a few other ways, such as having a medical degree or completion of a nationally recognized test pilot school program. The new online assessment will begin the process. Applications to become an astronaut will be accepted at the usajobs.gov website. So, and then they just have some stories of people who are applying. So, pretty cool deal though. So they're planning on doing missions to the moon, and then they're trying to figure out how they're going to do missions to Mars. And of course, Space Force, right? Space Force too. So, anyway, so I thought that was a pretty cool story. Anyway, let's see here. Next story. Okay. Now, I don't know if this, I'm not sure if this is real, but I saw this and I'm like, well, I knew I'd have a reason that I could use this story, and Late Night Live is the perfect time to do it. English millionaire creates sleep pods for homeless people by joining trash cans together. PDawg, an English multimillionaire and political candidate for the Brexit Party, recently sparked controversy for unveiling a bizarre sleep pod for homeless people out of 2 plastic trash cans. Mr. Daw, who showcased his new invention in a now viral video, said that he came up with the idea for the plastic sleep pods after building a prototype for a single-seat vehicle out of a plastic trash can. In the process of building his plastic car, he got inside the trash can and was surprised at how comfortable it felt. It wasn't a bed, but definitely beat sleeping on the street. So the multimillionaire, who runs several businesses and projects, set out to create a viable sleeping solution for the homeless out of the humble trash can. He said, I saw on the telly rough sleepers complaining that they'd been kicked and pissed upon lying in the street in a sleeping bag. You are very vulnerable, PDawg told the Mirror. I think there is a more comfortable and more secure sleeping in a sleep pod rather than being huddled in a wet sleeping bag and being kicked. I'm not solving homelessness or the rough sleeper problem. I'm just mitigating it, or giving them the opportunity to do. The bizarre sleep pods are made out of 2 plastic garbage bins, which turn on a hinge to make enough room for someone to lie down in. Asked whether he had tried sleeping in one of his trash can contraptions himself, Dawes said that he had laid down in one for 10 minutes and was actually quite delighted. Still, he admitted that the solution may not appeal to everyone. Except, if you're in that pod and people know it's a sleep pod, if people, wait a minute, need some stickers so they don't get crushed on accident. Oh, like if someone tries to take a truck and pull them away. So here's the video of him doing these sleep pods. Okay, so he just took the lid off and put the 2 cans together. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know.
You okay?
I suppose, look, if you're homeless, if you could find a way to make the wheels work. Oh, you take them apart and you can roll them away, so you can still keep your belongings in it. Oh, I see. It's a mobile home. Yeah, good gracious. Yeah, I don't know about all that. But hey, I suppose it's innovative. Dumb fook. Yeah, he's a multimillionaire. Why don't you? Oh, never mind. I am speechless. Let's move on. Oh, now this is weird. Another weird one. Passenger flying into U.S. from Vietnam caught with prohibited pork stashed in noodle cups. Now, I had to... The only reason I wanted to read this story is because I wanted to find out what prohibited pork is. Not familiar with prohibited pork. Agents from U.S. Customs and Border Protection confiscated more than 2 pounds of prohibited pork products that an airline passenger from Vietnam had hidden in cups of noodles at the Washington, D.C. airport, authorities said Wednesday. Now, first of all, prohibited pork from Vietnam in noodle cups, so it's not refrigerated. Ew, I don't know. Anyway, the passenger was stopped for a second screening at Dulles Airport on January 28th and told the border agents that he had cup noodles in his luggage, U.S. Customs and Border Protection said in a statement. Agents then determined that the lids on all 25 cups of noodles had been opened, emptied, and stuffed with illegal pork sausage. Okay. The passenger, who was headed to a location in Montgomery County, Maryland, had a total of more than 2 pounds of sausage with him, authorities said. A day prior at Dulles Airport, agents seized a bag of dead birds from a passenger also headed to Maryland. What the fuck is going on in Maryland that they need? You got illegal pork and dead birds. Why? Hello, Cannibal Caretaker. How you doing? I just noticed that your avatar looks like, is that Hannibal Lecter? That's quite funny. The passenger said the birds were cat food, but they were not allowed into the United States. And my scroll is going crazy here. Holy shit, what the hell's going on? Okay, but the birds were not allowed in the United States out of fear they might spread avian flu, U.S. Customs said. Yeah, we don't need any more weird diseases coming from wherever they're coming from. And besides, all right, one more. So the Metro Transit Police. Where is this? Where is this? This is in. It's not giving me a place. But anyway, Metro Transit Police held a friendly competition to reward officers for arrests and citations. I wonder what that friendly competition was. Let's look it up. Metro Transit Police officers competed with each other for numbers of arrests, citations, and other enforcement actions in a weekly competition hosted by a supervisor last summer, Metro confirmed on Thursday. The contest, first reported by the Washington Post, took place out of the District 1 station and involved officers working in Fort Totten. Speaking outside of the Metro Board meeting on Thursday, Transit Police Chief Ronald A. Pavlik said another officer in the same district flagged the contest, which was started by a lieutenant. The police department conducted an internal investigation. As soon as we were made aware of it, we stopped it, Pavlik said. Okay, let's talk about, I want to know what the contest entailed. This article is not doing that very fast. The leader of the contest was not fired, Pavlik said, but corrective action was taken and the program was dismissed. Metro spokesman Dan Stressel told the Post that the contest took place without the knowledge or approval of the Metro Transit Police Department command staff. MTPD does not condone the use of competitions with regard to productivity. The contest was promoted by an internal document announcing that the time periods for the friendly competition and the ways in which officers could earn points. Councilmember Charles Allen, Ward 6, provided WAMU with a letter that he and Councilmembers Robert White sent to Chief Pavlik in December asking whether the contest was real and condemning its possible existence. That letter included a screenshot detailing the breakdown of points and the contest rules. Effective immediately, your leadership will be recognizing your efforts by highlighting a weekly winner whose combined efforts through the week surpass their peers. The first line of the flyer reads, the first weekly winner will be notified and announced this Sunday, July 21st. The rubric for the competition valued arrests at 20 points, citations or moving violations at 4 points each, 10 parking tickets at 1 point, working pop-up events at 1 point, and reports at 3 points, among other criteria. The Post reports that one person won a $20 movie gift card as a prize, reportedly paid for by a supervisor's own money, according to Metro. Good luck, all. May the odds be forever in your favor, the announcement concludes, a nod to a signature line in Susan Collins' The Hunger Games series. Hey, the first one to catch... Yeah, Uncle Bobby. The first one to catch yeet meat gets a set of steak knives. Pavlik was asked about the scoring rubric by reporters and whether higher points for arrest encourage officers to make more of them. Yeah, that, oh my gosh, I can just hear the howling. I can just hear it now. You guys are arresting people for no good reason. Well, we needed the 20 points. There was a set of steak knives involved. Let's see. Chief Pavlik said on Thursday there were no spikes in arrests or citations during that time period. I X'd it out. Where's my X? X'd it out. Why didn't the little thing didn't pop up? Oh, because where's my, that should be on top. Hang on, where'd the X go? Hang on a second. It's not showing up. Oh well, whatever. He said there's no spike in arrest, or citations during that time period, and that the leader was trying to empower officers to do work. Oh, a woman came up with this. That explains everything. Sorry, ladies, I didn't mean anything personal by that. Good night. Thanks for the late night stream. Take care. Thank you, D.I. Freighter. We'll see you later. I applaud the leader for trying to think outside the box to motivate young officers to work, but obviously the perception of that, it's a little out of the context. It shouldn't have been done, Pavlik said. Council members Allen and White letter to Metro officials followed a heated public hearing in late 2019 that discussed excessive use of force and unnecessary stops of people of color by Metro police. And that's where you're going to get in trouble. We're all concerned that according to the attached document, officers received 20 points for arrest, the letter reads. Such a high number of points in comparison to other interactions clearly encourages arrests, incentivizes confrontation between officers and the community, and trivializes the serious impact arrests have on members of the public. Yeah, you think... I don't know where is Metro. I don't know where Metro what? Metro Washington, I'm guessing. Yeah, Metro Washington D.C. Yeah, probably not a great idea. Anyway, all right. So that's kind of everything I have. Other than this, if you're interested, I'm going to put this article in the chat. You might want to right-click this and open a window and save it for later. It's an interesting read about this woman. She's a longtime Democrat, been a Democrat for 20 years, and decided to go check out a Trump rally in New Hampshire. It's a great article. I read it, the whole thing, but it's rather long, and I'm not going to get into it tonight. But and how she was pleasantly surprised at how nice the people were, and just started thinking about how each side had really unusual, just perceptions of what other people are, and realizing how much more we have in common, even with people we disagree with politically. And so it's a pretty good article, and so that's why I put it in the chat. You can check that out later. Let's see, do I have anything else I want to do tonight here? I'm going to check one more little click here, see if there's anything new on this site real quick. That's the overnight stuff. I think that might be it, gang. Let's see what's happening on Twitter real quick, though. Check the hashtag one more time. PDK News. Nothing there. All right, and we already did the guy who had interactions on Facebook. Could this contest have been thwarted by at-risk populations if they simply froze in their tracks like elementary school and just not move while the cops are out? Yeah, perhaps. Let's check the Twitter trends if anything good on here. Twitter trends are pretty boring. Oh, yeah, we already knew Michael Avenatti was convicted. Why is this up here now? You know what's really funny is I had a good laugh when Michael Avenatti was convicted. And I guess he's going to be sentenced in a couple months. I don't know why they're taking so long to sentence him. Probably because he has 2 other federal trials pending. But for some reason, it's just showing up on this part of Twitter. But people are still talking about it. And what's funny is some of the guys at CNN were tweeting about this. And instead of, he's like over 200 appearances in 3 months between CNN and MSNBC during his, the heyday of his little popularity streak. And the guys from CNN today were tweeting about how conservative outlets were reacting to his guilty verdict, rather than maybe reflecting on how much they pushed Michael Avenatti. And some were, he's the savior, he's the one who's going to save us from Trump, and he should run for president and all that shit. But instead they decide to have a conservatives pounce article. I just thought it was kind of funny. Other things on the Twitter trends right now are mostly about the NBA All-Star game. Apparently, Aaron Gordon again loses the NBA All-Star dunk contest to some guy from Miami that I had never heard of before this weekend. Dwight Howard, Dwayne Wade, all the top 5 are all NBA related. UFC, Rio Rancho. Is there a UFC thing tonight? I don't know. Tiffany Haddish is trending, the comedian actress. Why? Gary Payton and Tiffany Haddish roasting. Me listening to Tiffany Haddish was telling jokes about the All-Star roast. Apparently they had a roast at the NBA All-Star game. Okay, if you're familiar with Tiffany Haddish, she's kind of a whatever. Oh, the Hunt movie, yeah, it's not trending, but yeah, that's coming out. Do y'all know about the Hunt movie? They're gonna actually release it now. There was some controversy when the first trailers came out because it looked like a movie about liberals hunting, the deplorables, but as it turns out, the deplorables are actually the good guys in the movie. But it's funny because they're using all the bad press from the first time that people were talking about it and using that to promote the movie now. People are talking about the movie and we didn't even release it. I know, I'm still here, check your logic, I'm still here. Let's see, Chadwick Boseman. Why is Chadwick Boseman trending? Who the hell is Chadwick Boseman? If a bat falls in China, does anyone make soup out of it? Certainly not now. If CNN and MSNBC doesn't talk about their bias, is it recognized in the minds of their dwindling audience? No, hell no it isn't it. Oh, okay, Chadwick Boseman was at the NBA All-Star game. Looks like when you want to go home and your friends plan a new spot. Okay. Apparently he wasn't all that excited for the NBA All-Star game. Here's the one I'm looking at right now. He's there and he doesn't know why because he doesn't really follow basketball. Anyway, what else is trending here? Zach LaVine. It's all NBA All-Star. That's kind of crazy. Who's Adam Koutner? Never heard of him. Hey, followers, the Vegas Golden Knights are on a power play. If you're following Adam S. Koutner, tweet me. Okay, nope. This is a hockey thing. It's all sports. It's all sports. There is one MMA. Okay, it's all sports trending. We don't need to do that. Let's see. Let's go into here. How about what's happening? Celtics Taco Fall is out there making Shaq look short. You know who Taco Fall is? Taco Fall is I think he's 7'7", played at University of Central Florida, I think. And there he is, making Shaq look short. That would be Taco Fall. Next to Shaquille O'Neal, who's 7'2". The dunk contest, it was actually pretty good. If you're into that, I thought Aaron Gordon may have gotten robbed. Let's put it this way: Aaron Gordon had the most creative stuff, and the other dude who won it had more powerful stuff, I guess. But Aaron Gordon throughout, was hitting 50s, was 50 points throughout the thing, and then ends up losing in the finals. But as far as creativity, he was far more creative. It was kind of like when, back in the day, one of the early dunk contests, Michael Jordan versus Dominique Wilkins. And Dominique Wilkins was all about power. Michael Jordan was all about style. And it kind of just, for the first few dunk contests, that was kind of the thing. Well, not the first ones, but yeah. BG, how you doing? I didn't even see you there. Well, people are getting kind of fed up with politics between the failed impeachment and the disaster that is the Democrats' presidential hopefuls. There you go. They are a disaster. Oh, no. Really? So I'm in the What's Happening section on Twitter. Breaking down Obama's DAP game? Okay, because he's at the All-Star game. Whatever. Nobody cares. Love Island episode pulled after former presenter Caroline Flack's death. Whoa. Any of you isn't Love Island? That's a British thing, isn't it? I'm not sure. Jordan versus Wilkins, still the best ever dunk contest. Yeah, yes, because it was still new and people still cared about it. There was several years in there where nobody gave a shit about the dunk contest. I mean, after it just got redundant, it got boring. And just recently it started getting good again because guys were getting more creative. A lot of the guys who were in the NBA dunk contest were starting to do the dunks that the guys in the professional dunk contest do. So it got real interesting. But yeah, Jordan versus Wilkins. Like I said, Wilkins was all about power, and Jordan was all about style, and it was interesting dichotomy, but it was definitely fun to watch. Although I thought Dominique Wilkins got robbed back then too. So anyway, Love Island though. Apparently, Love Island's a UK thing. Love Island episode pulled after former presenter Caroline Flack's death. ITV executives said they were shocked and saddened about the death of former Love Island presenter Caroline Flack. Saturday's episode of Love Island will not air, ITV announced, with no word on Sunday's episode. So that's interesting. I don't know anything about Love Island, but we can confirm that our Caroline has passed away today on 15th February. Caroline Flack's family said in a statement. So that's too bad. I don't know anything about her. Very attractive lady, though. Ancient Aliens is airing on History. Ancient Aliens is back. Oh, here's an interesting... now this is interesting. Kastner Semenya is making a return to the track. If you're not... Kastner Semenya is an 800... the Olympic 800 meter champion. And she has intersex she has an intersex condition. She was now this is one of those things, you know, when they say, oh, assigned at birth. Well, she was thought to be a female at birth, not realizing that she had intersex conditions. So actually she has testes that produce testosterone. So she, it was very controversial because she'd been just destroying records as a track athlete. And then they found out that she had this intersex condition, that her testosterone levels were that of a man with low testosterone. And she's very built like a man and, you know, whatnot, and has, you know, somewhat manly features, but they always thought she was a woman. So she grew up as a girl because they thought she had a vagina. She's fast as hell. And so apparently the double Olympic 800-meter champion competed in her first track meet in over 6 months with a victory and a national record of 36.78 seconds in the 300-meter race in Johannesburg. The IAAF regulations ruled in July that the athlete could not participate in tournaments unless she took medication to lower her naturally occurring testosterone levels. And it's very controversial because there's a lot of people wondering, you know, complaining because there's transgender athletes competing against women, transgender males. Now, most people don't care about the transgender women because they're transgender men, female to male, because they have, you know, even with the hormones they take, generally don't get up to the performance levels of natural males, although some do. But in this case, this is a woman who is an intersex condition, has testes, and produces testosterone like a male. And she has male features. I mean, somewhat. Anyway, double Olympic champion Caster Semenya makes a winning return to the track. Semenya was taking part in the meet, which features South Africa's top athletes racing alongside high school students. So they've allowed her to come back. I had to take some. Let's see. Oh, the 29-year-old is currently unable to compete in events between 400 meters and a mile without taking testosterone-reducing drugs. So she was in a shorter run event. And they let her compete in a shorter run event that was less than 400 meters. See, they're making some really strange rules because they basically changed the rules for the 2 races she runs normally, in which she has the Olympic medal, and I think she might even have a world record, but she has so they only changed the rules for the 2 races she runs because of her situation. Now, it's gonna get, this is one of those cases where they did not, where she was born, they did not know that she had the intersex condition that she has. So, she's still banned from competing in the event in which she is an Olympic champion. So that's very interesting. I really don't have any more to say on that. Let's see. Oh, we have another American passenger on a cruise ship testing positive for coronavirus. That's not good. Westerdam was refused entry by 5 governments before being allowed to dock in Cambodia. The 83-year-old woman who flew out of Cambodia on February 14 tested positive in Kuala Lumpur. The cruise operator, Holland America Line, previously said there were no suspected cases on board before disembarking. Passengers on a Westerdam, a cruise ship turned away by multiple countries over coronavirus fears, disembark in Cambodia. So they've been stuck on this ship. And they finally allowed it to dock in Cambodia for one case. And since oh, I see the IAAF has been monitoring my comment section. That's not good. I'm not happy about that. Wow, that's funny. Let's see. So let's see. Here, let's do this. Let's do the Reuters article here. This is going to be my last article, by the way. Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia said on Saturday, an 83-year-old American passenger on a cruise ship that docked in Cambodia has tested positive for new coronavirus. The American woman took a flight to Malaysia on Friday from Cambodia, the Malaysian Health Ministry said in a statement, adding that her husband had tested negative. The Westerdam, operated by Carnival Corporation Unit Holland America Inc., docked in the port of Sihanoukville, Cambodia, on Thursday after being shunned by several countries on fears that passengers could be carrying the virus. They still could. That's it. That's the whole article. So, yeah, it's funny because I know a guy who's about to go on a cruise, and I'm thinking, really, dude? Have you heard about that ship that they wouldn't let dock anywhere? In 2 weeks, he's going on a cruise. I don't know if I'd want to be on a cruise ship right now, just for that chance, because that thing they've been sending that thing all over the place. Not in 5 different countries they tried to dock and they wouldn't let them. So these people have been on a ship for, I don't know. Let's see. When did that? There's got to be something in here about when that ship originally left. They would not let anyone disembark from that particular ship. Anyway, Westerdam has been cleared to debark in Sihanoukville. Cambodia Health Ministry announced that the 20 samples taken on board were confirmed negative for coronavirus. Okay, so they've been testing other people. February 10th. So it's only been out 60. On February 10th, all 2,257 guests and crew were temperature tested. Not one person had an elevated temperature. Debarking guests completed a health form. All passports were reviewed to ensure no one had traveled through mainland China during the cruise. No indication of COVID-19 on board. That's interesting. Now, the problem is, the problem with this new coronavirus, though, is you don't necessarily show symptoms and you don't necessarily get sick, but you can still transmit. So, I don't know, man. Good luck, I say. I just say good luck to you, right? All right. Well, I think that's enough for tonight, gang. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this very, very impromptu version of PDawg Night Live, Late Night Live with PDawg Night. I normally stream Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 3 p.m. GMT with my show, The Morning Night Live, and occasionally I'll throw a random stream here and there on my PDawg Night Live feed. If you are ever looking for... If you're trying to figure out what I'm going to do, you can always follow me on Twitter. That's right over there. See, over there it says @PDawgNight. I'm also on Minds and Gab. I do announce the shows that I'm doing on all 3 of those platforms. And if you haven't done so since you've been here, if you like what we do, please hit the thumbs up down below the screen there. That would be the like button. And if Duck Dog, I think, already took care of the one dislike that I usually get per stream, because that's something that I allow him to do. Also, if you ever want to do donations or keep the channel going, you can do that through the Streamlabs link in the description down below, whether it's live or if you're watching a replay. And if you're watching it by replay, not live, then please make sure you leave a comment in the comment section down below so that I know you're here and that I can I give you a quick thank you for that. So, but ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it, because I gotta go to bed. I'm tired as hell. It's 2 a.m. where I live, and I need some fucking sleep. So, thanks again for being here. My name's PDawg Night, and I'm out of here. Have a great night. Hey, this is PDawg Night, and thank you for watching today on the PDawg Night channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here.